Greetings everyone, I am Dr. Wolf and I just saw Ralph Breaks the Internet. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of fun. It actually exceeded my expectations in a few areas. Like, considering even the first film, I already had fairly high expectations going into this, and yet still, this turned out even better than I thought it would. Starting from the beginning, the characters are still really well written here. I mean, goodness, there is a lot of heart put into both Ralph and Vanellope. You'd think that even though it's very likely that the writers had no idea that there would ever be a sequel when they first began writing for the first film, it still feels like this sequel is a natural continuation of both of their story arcs. It feels like they must have had this plan from the beginning, and yet there's no way they could have had this plan from the beginning. That's impressive. That's really creative. That's clever. Holy cow. I am really glad that it turned out this well. I honestly wish that more movies could have multiple lessons that they're trying to teach turn out to be this effective. I mean, considering that from the beginning, with where the characters start, pretty much most every sequence of events leads into each of these lessons that they're trying to teach. And some lessons are even building on others. One in particular, which I don't think is as much of a spoiler, given that this movie is not focused as much on video game characters, but rather on the internet itself. One of the plot points has to do with internet popularity and what comes with said popularity. Now, garnering as many likes as possible, or in this case, for the movie, it's hearts, and trying to find success that way, trying to reach a goal, and then coming across the comments that are associated with those likes and or hearts, both the positive and the negative comments that come with them, and how small and insignificant, how it can really open yourself up to feel vulnerable. I don't know how much that's going to affect the general populace, but for someone like myself, that hit kind of deep. I honestly hope that a lot more people are able to learn this kind of lesson, whether or not they ever chase internet popularity. But even with that said, that one lesson from a scene that's only a couple minutes long, I have to admire that Ralph comes out of it saying, you know, even with all of those comments from all of those people, whether positive or negative, it really shouldn't matter as long as I've got one person who believes in me, who likes me for who I am, and who will stand by my side. And I do find that rather admirable. And yet, that one lesson that a movie could stand on its own with just that one lesson actually leads into something even stronger and even greater moral later on that they're trying to teach as part of the core of the movie. So, yeah, I am really grateful for how characters are taking steps towards the eventual big moment where they grow, they progress, they become something greater than they ever were before. And again, it feels like a natural progression. From the very first film and even into the end of this film, I firmly believe in what these characters' motivations are and how they are reaching every step along the way. So, really well done on the writing. Now, on top of that, There are quite a lot of laughs in this film. More than a few moments that just had me chuckling and holy cow. However, compared to other Disney/Pixar movies of, say, this year, I think Incredibles 2 comes to mind. I don't know if there are as many laughs as Incredibles 2. I think there are just a few more with that other movie. So in that respect, if I had to measure the two, Incredibles 2 would be just a little bit higher, even though Ralph Breaks the Internet still has quite a few that definitely give me a thumbs up. With that said, I do believe that Ralph Breaks the Internet has the stronger story because, as I've said, where the characters start and where the characters end, and every step along the way that is supporting how these characters are growing, it fits so much better here than what I felt they were trying to accomplish with Incredibles 2. With Incredibles 2, I could see that they were attempting 3 or 4 different directions on trying to get characters to grow and lessons trying to teach, and I think they maybe landed 1 or 2 of those morals in the end. With Wreck-It Ralph, again, you got 3 or 4 really good lessons they're trying to teach to multiple characters, and I'd say they landed all of them really effectively. Flying colors, I'd say. It has stronger story. In some respects, I think it has stronger characters because it feels like this is a natural progression every step of the way for everyone involved. And yet at the same time, I wonder if more people are going to remember Incredibles 2 because Incredibles 1 was just that much more popular a film than Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know. I'm gonna have to read in the comments what you guys think about whether Incredibles 2 or Ralph Breaks the Internet is gonna be the film that stands a little bit higher given the test of time. Now, I'm sure that many of you saw in the trailers there are certain scenes like, say, with the Disney princesses. That is particularly short, only a few minutes long. It does not invade the story for too long. However, unlike with some other movies that try to show the very best material and they don't have anything else to show, I am glad to see that there was actually more than there was to show with the Disney princesses. I won't give it away here because it turned out to be exceptionally entertaining and just completely out of the blue. But there is more, and it is worth seeing for more than just that. As far as seeing it on the big screen, for Incredibles 2, I'd say that there were at least a dozen scenes that are absolutely worth seeing on the big screen. Having that big surround sound and huge screen to see every little detail, that can make a real difference for something that's grand as Incredibles 2. For Ralph Breaks the Internet, that's really good if you want to see all the Easter eggs because, holy cow, going through the internet, there are so many Easter eggs in the background. I could not possibly count them all with just the first viewing, and I already want to take a look at certain scenes again just to see how much I've missed. And I would say that there are at least a couple of racing scenes that are probably better to see on the big screen. Other than that, though, I don't know if I could really say that it's as needed to see it in theaters as, say, Incredibles 2. I do say it is absolutely worth seeing because, like I've mentioned before, I actually believe that Ralph Breaks the Internet is a stronger film overall. But I don't know if it is as grand a film. And perhaps that may make it not as able to stand the test of time? I don't know. But at any rate, it's got a great story, great characters, excellent lessons that they're trying to teach, which you don't really find in that many other films or even TV shows for that matter, and I do have to admire it for that. If you like the first film, you will like the second. If you've never seen the first film, I'd say definitely go watch that one first, because it is a natural progression from what the first film built up. And I do hope that I see more movies like this from Disney in the future. They've been on a real high for a long time, and I do hope it continues for a long time yet. For anyone else who's seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, what did you think of the eventual conflict at the end? As weird as it turned out, I still love how it is so fitting for what the film was actually trying to build up between the two main characters. Even as bizarre as it turned out, it's such a great fit for both kids and adults to take a lesson away from. Until next time, though, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.